Hello, this is Charlene. We are going to complete the square of this quadratic, and we're going to convert it to the vertex form, and then we're going to find the vertex of our parabola, which is the shape of a quadratic. So let's go ahead and get started. Anytime we're going to complete a square, we are making the assumption that this number here, this constant, is not working for us. So we are going to take this 96 and we're going to move it to the other side to get it out of our way because we assume it's not working for us. So we're going to go ahead and rewrite this x squared plus the 10x, and I'm going to leave a space where that 96 is. I'm adding the 96 to both sides, plus 96 plus 96. That's supposed to be a 6 right there. Okay, and that's going to be equal to the 96. Well, if you notice, I did leave a space because I'm going to put my magic bullet there. This is what I call the magic bullet to complete the square. So that is going to fit right in here. So plus the magic bullet, b over 2, and it is going to be squared. And if I add the magic bullet to one side of the equal sign, I also have to add it to the other side of the equal sign. So it's going to be plus the magic bullet over here. However, before I write the equation, I'm going to acknowledge the fact that this b is going to be related to this b, because in a quadratic, we always have the format ax squared plus bx is equal to some c constant, or plus c constant. Okay, so the b is going to be equal to the 10, or the b number. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and plug the 10 in. So it's going to be plus 10 over the 2, and that will be squared. That is my magic bullet value. So continuing with order of operations, I'm just going to do x squared plus 10x. And I'm going to go ahead and calculate my magic bullet. So my magic bullet is 10 over 2, which is 5, and 5 squared is 25. So I'm going to have a 25 right there, and that is going to be equal to 96 plus 25, which what is 96 plus 25? Let's go ahead and get our calculator and go ahead and just calculate that. Okay, so we've got 25 plus 96 equals 121. So 121. Okay, so the good news is that at that level we have now completed the square. The completing the square process is completed, and we also have turned this part into a perfect square trinomial. Let's move that over here. That's a perfect square trinomial. Okay, so what I'm saying is that we have this section of our quadratic, this section right here, is a perfect square trinomial, and when it is a perfect square trinomial, it means that we can easily factor it using a pattern. So the square root of x squared is x, the square root of the 25 is 5, and this middle sign is a plus sign. So this part right here, we're going to square that. So we got to understand that this right here is the factorization of my perfect square trinomial right there. That is what completing the square allows us to do, is turn it into a perfect square trinomial which can be factored easily. Okay, so I still have my is equal to 121 over here. So I am going to move the 121 over to the other side, subtract it from both sides. So it's going to be x plus 5, that is squared, minus the 121, except instead of putting equals 0, I am actually going to put f of x is equal to that. Okay, so what I've accomplished by doing that is in what I consider the most perfect vertex form. That is the most perfect. So what we've accomplished here, we've completed the square. This is the completed square. We have turned it into a perfect square trinomial, which allowed us to factor it easily. And now we have found the vertex form. This is the vertex form of our original equation. It means that this equation is the same as the original equation. Okay, so from this format of the vertex form, we can now find the vertex of this quadratic. So we're going to look at this number right here, the 5, and the negative 121. Well, when it is the x value, it will be the opposite sign. That says plus 5, so my vertex is actually going to be a negative 5. It will be the opposite sign for the x value. But the y value will be the same sign. So it is negative 5, negative 121, and that is the vertex of my original quadratic. So hopefully that helps you go through the process and helps you with all the steps and to understand what you're doing along the way, completing the square, turning it into vertex form, and finding the vertex of your original quadratic. Okay, click on the subscribe button, click on the like button, come back real soon.